What's up, everybody? Welcome to Over the Hill with Will. I'm back again to do another COVID update. It's almost 10 o'clock tonight. It's been 2 days since I made the last video. I did not make a video yesterday because of all the stuff that was going on at the, not just at the, obviously it was going on at the Capitol, but all the stuff that I was seeing on social media and stuff yesterday, I just didn't think it was a good time to release a video. I just want to say we need to pray for our country and we need unity, not division. I'm just going to throw that out there. But let's get right into today's episode. I don't want to keep you a long time. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with the content that I'm making. A lot of people have actually reached out to me and said, I don't even know how to comment on YouTube. Well, it's like I watch a lot of YouTube channel stuff on my TV. But I do watch it on my phone sometimes, and I turn my phone sideways. If you turn your phone like straight up and down and you use it, you can scroll down. There's a little comment section right there. I have it pulled up on the computer screen over here. You can, that's the best way to comment. Or like I said, a lot of people have sent me messages. I like to have the comments on there. So yeah, try to figure out how to make a comment so we can start some discussion, because you can discuss not just with me, but with other people, because other people can reply to the comments as well. Again, don't forget to like my channel, like this video, subscribe to my channel, all that stuff. It's just going to help get the content out. So the number one question that I've been asked, and we're going to start with there. I've had lots of other questions, and I'll get to those at a different time. But the number one question, overwhelmingly, no question, asked, by far, the number one question that I have been asked, not just on the video, but also before the video, a lot of people that have reached out to me. Thank you for all my friends that have, reached out to me during this time. It really means a lot. It's actually shown me, who the people are that really, keep up with what's going on with me and stuff like that. So it does actually mean a lot to me. But let's get to it. Guess what? The number one question: how did I get it? How did I get COVID? Well, let's dive into that. We're not gonna make a 45-minute long video and discuss every moment of all the days that I had leading up to it. But I promise you that that's been on my mind since the moment that I tested positive. Literally, probably the number one thought, except for when I was having all the brain fog, obviously. And I've still even had that today, yesterday, the day before. I'm very low on energy, and the COVID fog is pretty bad. I've spent most of the day just in that fog today, so I think I got some energy right now because I really just ate a fudge round and it's 10 o'clock. So I'm probably gonna regret that in a little bit when I can't sleep. But here, all right. So this is it. Now, I in my last video, which I'll leave up up the link in the description. The last video I said that I tested positive on Monday. Well, I started feeling the symptoms on Sunday. So then I really started thinking back through before Sunday. Who was I around? No one, as I'll get to that in a second. But I was like, how did I get this? So I started thinking about, okay, let me just say this. I didn't go a whole lot of places for several days before Sunday. I did Friday night. This is when I said I didn't go anywhere. My wife was like, yeah, but what about the Franklin County football game? We did go to the Franklin County football game up at the UK football stadium. But here was my take on that. First of all, it was freezing cold outside. So I had on multiple layers of clothes. I had on a sock hat, a hoodie, gloves. I had on a winter face mask, so my whole entire face was covered. I have one that I use for skiing. I never took any of that off except for when we were in the vehicle on the way up there. So that leads to that was my first thought. Okay, well, I definitely didn't get it at the game. I wasn't around anybody at the game. Literally, the social distancing was pretty good. There were some sections where people sat a little bit closer, but for the most part, we weren't even close to anybody. So that led me back to, okay, what about on the way up there? Well, on the way up there, we stopped at a restaurant. I won't name the restaurant, but we did stop at a restaurant to grab a quick bite to eat, and we only had time to go through the drive-thru because we were running behind, of course, because It's just what happens when you have girls. So we didn't have that much time, and we stopped at one of our favorite restaurants just in the drive-thru. And when I paid with credit card, which I have done several other times before. And every time that I've done it, I felt a little bit uneasy. Hey, I'm giving my credit card to someone who's, you know, in this window, who's touching everybody's credit card that's gone through before me. Everybody. So I've had a little bit of a paranoia through that anytime that I've actually gone through the drive-thru. But I noticed this particular person was not wearing a mask. Now, to me, that's okay. I didn't really think twice about them wearing a mask because they had plexiglass covering their whole entire window except for only like this much for her to stick her hand out. So with my paranoia, obviously when she gave me back my credit card, I always keep, oh man, well, hold on, I'll get it for you. Try to not knock the microphone down. I keep taking these from my daughters. These are little hand sanitizers that come from like Bed Bath and Beyond, or Bath and Body Works, I think is where I come from. And I really like the smell of them. They're all girly smelling, but so I always have these on me. So as soon as she handed me back my credit card, bam, I clean my hands off because I was like, she's not wearing a mask, but it's okay. She's behind that plastic. So I'm not really concerned with that, but she doesn't have on any kind of gloves and she's touched everybody's credit card. So yeah, immediately used my hand sanitizer I pulled out of my pocket. We pull up to the next window. The worker hands us the food. And again, my thought process was, gosh, everybody that's in there has touched the food. So after I touch that part of the food, hand sanitizer out again, use hand sanitizer. I'm telling you guys, you've seen me out in public and I've always had a mask on. I don't actually agree with thinking that the mask may or may not work. And I've shared that a few times. I'm going to say the reason I'm saying may or may not is because my thought process through this experience maybe change on that a little bit. And I'm going to get to that in a different video, actually. So you might want to stay tuned because I am going to make a video about why I think a mask may or may not work. And you might want to listen to this. Actually, I have a pretty good reasoning behind backing up my theory. So yeah, I had used plain sanitizer, hand sanitizer. I was wearing masks, like a ski mask over my face. I never took my winter gloves off because it was freezing cold outside. I can't say never. I did take my gloves off for a minute because I put some feet warmers in my shoes because they were starting to get cold. So yeah, gloves, hat, face mask. One of my daughters and I did take a trip of a few days before that, just me and her. The place that we went, there wasn't hardly anybody else. I did purchase something at that place and again, paid with a credit card, but I know that the product that I bought had been there for a little while because I've had my eye on it. It's actually one of my Christmas presents. So yeah, I know in advance that it wasn't touched by too many people because I've had my eye on it for a while and I was excited to be able to buy it. So I paid her with credit card. But again, hand sanitizer, I keep it in my pockets. Like I use it a lot. Those are just two of my small theories. Now I'll go with theory number 3 beyond the checking out at the fast food restaurant and now at a store of a small local store, people that I was just being supportive of. Theory number 3, and I'm going to go with this one. I don't think when we actually end up testing positive or we end up showing symptoms that is from just like 24 to 48 hours before. I really honestly am throwing that one out the window. It just, that part doesn't make sense. So I'm making a guess. This is not a knowledgeable statement. This is no scientific fact. But since we can't seem to get past this, I think we need to look at another spectrum of it that possibly we're getting infected. I'm going to use the word infected from someone else way before we show any kinds of symptoms of it or test positive. It definitely can't. I can't say it can't be. I definitely don't think it was the 48 hours before I showed symptoms because I wasn't around enough people. My back was actually hurting, so I didn't do a whole lot. I didn't socialize. So like I said, one store, one restaurant, and the game, which I wasn't around anybody else except for my wife and my daughter who were in the van with me, and my daughter I have 3, that daughter tested positive 10 days after I tested positive. So if it was from that night, then why didn't she test positive when I did, not 10 days later? Can't answer those questions. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to, but I think as long as we can keep having these discussions, and I want to throw this out there, people, I have had more people reach out to me than I can count that have told me that they have already tested positive currently or have been through it in the past, and they've not shared it because some people feel shamed. Don't feel ashamed if you test positive. We should not be embarrassed about this. We're not going to figure it out if we don't communicate and talk to one another. I'm not embarrassed whatsoever that I had COVID. I actually want all of you all to know that so we can all discuss it. Keep reaching out to me. I have lots of people that have sent me messages and asked me lots of questions, and I'm okay with it. I may not answer you right away because, again, when I'm feeling kind of foggy, I don't like conversating. So keep asking me more questions, and we'll keep answering them on here. My take is, tell me what you think. I don't think that we're getting it 24 or 48 hours before we test positive or before we show symptoms. I think that we're getting it way before then, and that it takes a little while for it to expose itself in our system. Or like in my youngest daughter's case, where she got randomly tested because she was around someone else that tested positive. She showed no symptoms. Not before, not during, not after. She did test positive when she was around someone else that tested positive. Again, she showed zero symptoms. One of my other daughters currently has it, and she's got a few more days left of quarantine, and she showed symptoms. She's been sick. She hasn't been feeling good. She's shown a lot of the symptoms that I have, but she's gotten over it much quicker. Actually, she's ready personally to get out of quarantine, but she still has a few more days. So we have still quarantined just to keep everybody safe. Like, we've not left. I did actually drive to the gas station, and last night I took my daughter out, who I've not been able to spend any time with because of this COVID. So I took her out to dinner last night, and we kind of just drove around for a while and just kind of caught up and talked. And, you know, kind of stinks when you don't get to see your kids for a couple of weeks. And, you know, I really missed them and missed spending that time. So yeah, tell me what you think. Like, what's your theory on this? You think that we're being infected 24 hours, 48 hours, 36 hours, like 1 week, 2 weeks? What's your theory? What's your thoughts? My thought is, I'm thinking maybe 10 days. I'm thinking maybe a week, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before we test positive or show symptoms that we've come in contact with someone. If I go back that far, I can't tell you all the people that I've been around. It was a lot. So like, I can really narrow down that first 48 hours before I tested positive. But after that, I've been around a bunch of people. All of us have had a mask on. I don't think I've been around anybody that's not wearing a mask. Even, you know, those of you know that I've been to your house, you all been wearing masks at your house, or I've been wearing a mask at your house. So like, masks have been on. Use lots of hand sanitizer. Washing my hands. I know that hand sanitizer is not good for you, but I keep those in my pocket. Like, I really love these things, actually. So yeah, that's my theory and thought. Again, comment below. Let's have a conversation. You can send me messages, but I really like to see the comments on the YouTube channel, because I'm going to be sharing this on Instagram and on Facebook. So that's why I'm saying it like that. Go to the YouTube channel, watch it on YouTube, comment on the YouTube section. That's going to be helping me a lot make, which videos. Like I said, we're going to tap into a whole bunch of different things. This just starts with, how did I get it?